He walked into the marble-floored lobby of the city's most prestigious five-star hotel, his arm possessively looped around the slender waist of a woman who wasn't his wife. The scent of polished oak, expensive perfume, and the crisp notes of wealth hung in the air, and for a moment, he felt untouchable. Everything seemed perfectly under his control, his secret life, his charm, his lies. But fate has its own way of breaking illusions. Within minutes, his carefully constructed world would shatter when the elevator doors opened, revealing the very last person he ever expected to see in this place. His wife, standing with a commanding presence, being introduced to the staff as the hotel's new chairwoman. In that instant, his heart froze, his breath caught, and his double life came crashing down in silence more deafening than thunder. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the powerful lessons hidden in life's unexpected turns, then please take a moment right now to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel, Royal Stories. Your support helps us continue creating these moving tales that touch hearts all over the world. And don't forget to leave a comment with your thoughts. We love hearing your voices. The story of Adam, his wife Sarah, and the hotel that became the stage of betrayal and redemption begins long before that fateful evening. Adam had always been ambitious, chasing success with a hunger that consumed him. His career in finance brought him wealth, but also arrogance. Sarah, his wife, was the opposite, calm, grounded, and deeply compassionate. She had stood by him in his struggling years, supporting his dreams when money was tight and the world seemed unforgiving. But as wealth grew, Adam began to drift. The simplicity of Sarah's love started to feel dull in comparison to the glittering promises of temptation. And so, he found himself entangled with Emily, a younger woman who flattered his ego and fed his desire for thrill. What Adam never saw was the quiet transformation happening in Sarah's own life. Tired of being overlooked, she poured herself into building her own path. For years, she had worked in hospitality, starting from the bottom, rising through dedication, vision, and an unbreakable work ethic. While Adam was lost in indulgence, Sarah was learning how to lead, how to inspire, and how to command respect. Her kindness won hearts, her intelligence built alliances, and her resilience carried her forward. By the time Adam took Emily to the hotel, Sarah's destiny had already shifted into a realm he could never imagine. That night at the hotel was meant to be one of Adam's indulgent escapes. He had reserved a luxury suite, imagining himself untouchable in his world of secrets. Emily, excited and naive, clung to him, unaware of the storm that was about to break. But as they strolled past the chandeliers and golden-framed mirrors, Adam noticed the unusual gathering of staff near the grand staircase. They clapped as a new leader was being introduced. His eyes followed the sound, and there she was, Sarah, standing radiant in a tailored suit, her eyes sharp yet calm, her posture commanding respect. The woman he had underestimated for years was now the chairwoman of the very empire he thought was his playground. Panic shot through him. His chest tightened. Emily, oblivious, smiled and asked about dinner plans, while Adam's world blurred. Sarah's gaze swept across the lobby, pausing briefly on him. There was no outburst, no chaos, only the quiet, piercing recognition in her eyes that felt heavier than any shouted accusation. It was a look that told him she already knew everything. The walls closed in on him, and for the first time, Adam felt what it meant to be powerless. In the days that followed, Adam spiraled between denial and shame. He tried to reach Sarah, but she was no longer the woman waiting at home for scraps of his attention. She was busy leading, busy inspiring, busy proving to herself and to the world that she was more than someone's neglected wife. The hotel staff adored her, business partners respected her. Adam saw her everywhere. In headlines, in boardrooms, in whispered conversations of admiration, and each time, it reminded him of how much he had lost. But life, in its strange mercy, sometimes allows broken people a chance to mend. Adam began to confront the emptiness inside him, realizing that wealth and affairs had brought him nothing but hollow victories. Slowly, painfully, he started changing. He distanced himself from Emily, faced his mistakes, and sought forgiveness. Not through words alone, but through actions, supporting causes Sarah cared about, rebuilding trust with their children, and learning humility that once seemed foreign to him. Sarah watched from afar, guarded yet observant. She didn't forgive easily, nor did she forget. But she saw a man shedding his arrogance, a man finally waking up to what truly mattered. Time did not erase the wounds, but it softened them, and eventually, their paths converged again, not as they once were, but as two people wiser, scarred, and more human. Their story became less about betrayal and more about redemption. The hotel, once a symbol of Adam's downfall, turned into a place where both of them rebuilt something new: partnership, respect, and a cautious hope for the future. The irony was not lost on either of them. The very walls that had witnessed his darkest shame also witnessed their quiet rebirth. And so, dear listeners, as we close this tale, remember that life has a way of humbling us, of exposing the truth no matter how deeply we try to bury it. But it also offers second chances, for those brave enough to face themselves and choose growth over pride. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need its message, and subscribe to Royal Stories. Your support helps us bring more real, emotional, and inspiring tales to life. Sparkle's special request. Comment below, what would you do if you were in Sarah's place? Would you forgive, or would you walk away forever? Your voice matters.